Hello, students. Welcome back to class. Today, we have an interesting topic to talk about, and that is disobedience. The Bible text for today is Genesis 3. Our introduction. Disobedience means breaking rules or going against laws, especially those from God. When we defy God's commandments, we commit sin, and that affects our relationship with God and the society. Also, disobedience defies God's commandments. Disobedience is what leads to sin and breaking divine laws. Disobedience does what? It leads to sin and it breaks divine laws. And there are consequences for disobedience. Number one is that it affects our relationship with God, and it can also affect our relationship with man. Let's look at what happened in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was beautiful. It was a beautiful paradise that God created by Himself. It was a home for Adam and Eve. There was harmony before disobedience. And God commanded Adam not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So just one commandment. There's a story that says that it could eat from every tree. It could eat from every fruit of every tree. But just that tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not eat from. And the disobedience to that law that God has given would result in death and separation from God. This commandment emphasizes the importance of obedience and the consequences of sin. Adam's disobedience led to shame and breakdown of their relationship with God. It separated them from God. Now, let's look at how the serpent tempted Adam and Eve. Now, the serpent symbolizes temptation and evil. Now, this serpent challenged Eve's faith in God's word. It persuaded her to disobey God by promising her wisdom and knowledge, which led to a pivotal choice that impacted humanity. Eve's choice to eat the forbidden fruit was the turning point in the Bible. It changed everything. Now, she was tempted by the serpent. She wanted wisdom, but instead, she felt shame and fear. After eating the fruit, she gave to Adam, her husband, to eat. And what happened? The Bible said they eat themselves from the face of God. And God had to search for them and, He had to call out for them. Where are you? He said, we hide ourselves. Why? He said, because we are naked. Now, after eating, she and Adam realized that they were naked and they hid from God, showing their broken connection with Him. And that is the start of sin. This act changed humanity's future, highlighting the cost of disobedience and the challenges of choice. There's a cost to disobedience. There's there's a challenge to our choices. The choices we make, there are consequences or rewards for every of our choices. Now, what happened when they made that wrong choice? Number one is that they felt shame over their nakedness. Also, they fear the presence of God. There was this fear of God's presence. They didn't want God to see them. They had to go and hide themselves. Another one is that they had broken down their relationship with God. There was a separation between God and Adam and between God and Eve. Now, let's look at the nature of free will. There's one thing that separated humans, the creation of humans, from every other creation. It was that God gave us free will. Some of God that gave us dominion, He gave us free will. The story of Adam and Eve raised questions about free will. These days, people brought out different questions about free will. That is it good, or we have had that free will, that choice that God has given to us? Now, did their choice to eat the forbidden fruit stem from genuine free will? That choice for them to eat that forbidden food, was it because of just the free will, or were they influenced by external forces such as the serpent, as we read in the Bible? This dilemma invites us to consider how free will interacts with divine command, temptation, and moral responsibilities. Understanding this relationship is crucial to grasping the essence of disobedience and its consequences. Now let's look at blame and accountability. We could notice that Adam and Eve shifted the blame after the disobedience. Adam said, "It is the woman you gave to me, oh. She was the one that gave me the fruit." And Eve also shifted the blame and said, "It is the serpent. The serpent tempted me. The serpent lied to me." They avoided taking responsibilities for their actions. This behavior reflects societal issues and accountability. You know, so that these days, so many people do not like to take responsibility for their own actions. Now, what are the moral lessons for the youth? Lessons from Genesis 3 are important for today's youth because number one, it emphasizes the value of making wise choices. You have to think about the choices you make. You have to make wise choices. You have to choose what is right at all time, because of the situation or the circumstance. It also highlights the need to understand the consequences of our action. There are consequences and rewards for every of our actions. Another one is it shows that disobedience leads to negative outcome. Also, it helps youths to navigate moral dilemma and take responsibilities for their actions. Now, understanding temptation. Youths can learn about temptation's nature. So the fact that you are human tells that you will be tempted at some point in time. It's good from peer pressure. Now, peer pressure can lead to poor choices. As we talked about in the previous class, that how that peer pressure has led some people to unwanted pregnancy and the likes. Now, staying true to value is very, very essential. It's very, very important to stay true to moral values. In conclusion, Genesis 3 teaches us about the consequences of disobedience. Adam and Eve's choice led to shame and fear. Don't forget that. It led to only shame and fear, not the wisdom they were seeking after, but to shame and fear. Also, it disrupted their relationship with God. Understanding this biblical narrative is very, very crucial for you today. It's very, very crucial for you to understand what happened in Genesis 3. Also, as it highlights the significance of making moral choices and recognizing the impact of our choices. It is very, very good and important for us to make the right choices at all time, regardless of the circumstances. Now, we have come to the end of today's class. Tell me if you enjoyed the class. If you learned something, you can comment in the comment section below. Thank you. See you at our next class. Bye.